It's time for Living with Victory, a program of hope and encouragement brought to you by Friends of Compassion and listeners like you. Now, here are your hosts, Tony and Laureen Giorgio, with today's message of perseverance.
Jesus is with me when the storm clouds gather, when the winds of this world are blowing strong.
Welcome to Living with Victory. Proving life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain, giving you peace, power, and joy through perseverance and faith in Jesus Christ. Just to let you know, the opinions expressed on this program are solely the opinions of the host and hostess. And just a real quick reminder, you can email us your comments at livingwithvictory@gmail.com. And before another minute goes by, I want to introduce my great co-host, 45 years worth, should be, right? Hey, Laureen, how are you today?
I'm just fine, and I'm so glad that you're joining us. Our topic today is, do you have to see it to believe it? Our scripture, we don't have time to read the whole thing, but if you would like, it's Matthew 8:5-13. When Jesus came into Capernaum, a centurion came up to him begging him, saying, "Lord, my servant boy is lying at the house paralyzed and distressed with intense pains." And Jesus said to him, "I will come and restore him." But the centurion replied to him, "Lord, I am not worthy or fit to have you come under my roof, but only speak the word, and my servant boy will be cured." When Jesus heard him, he marveled and said to those who followed him, and these are the people that adhered steadfastly to him, conforming to his example and living, and if need be, in dying also, "I tell you truly, I have not found so much faith as this with anyone in Israel." Then to the centurion, Jesus said, "Go, it shall be done for you as you have believed." And the servant boy was restored to health at that very moment. This story just kind of touched me because it brings to mind how God dealt with me. In June, we had to go to Florida to go to a
It was a symposium. It was a symposium.
I was going to say seminar. My mind wasn't.
It was a long trip. Don't worry about it.
We went, but we felt kind of cheated because we didn't get what we thought we were going to get from this symposium. But we did meet a few very nice people. One man especially that was really a joy to have met. We really didn't think much of anything, but this man, when I learned that I had breast cancer, my husband had let some people know, he was the one, a year later, to get me my doctors. The doctors who have been caring for me, they were Christian doctors, they're wonderful doctors. The care that I am able to receive at this time was because of the meeting with this man. It's amazing to me how God knows your life. To us, it seemed like the trip was worthless, that we didn't learn anything. And yet, God knew that I was going to need this person to help me when I learned about my cancer. So it's really amazing if you think about how God directs your steps. Think about this question. Do we have enough faith to believe God when He orders steps for us that are not convenient or even make sense at the time? Do we trust Him that He has a purpose for us, no matter what it seems like?
The fellow we met happened to come from our backyard. Now, I won't give you particulars on it because maybe he doesn't want to be mentioned, you know. All I have to say is that he actually came from back home, and here we are in Orlando. Out of hundreds of people, we meet him and had saw him one other time when we were in Asheville. We became friendly and we talked to each other quite often. And here the man knew the doctors who were going to treat Laureen. That's unbelievable. And the other thing that I find amazing when she said, do you have enough faith to believe when God orders your steps? I know we're in a little bit of a persevering situation here and believing because of Laureen. Laureen is not the type of person to get in front of a microphone and talk to people. She is bashful and shy.
The word that keeps coming into my mind is boldness. To say that Easter Sunday, when I was in church just before I had to go in for the surgery, I had already had my biopsy on Good Friday. When I was in church, I really did feel God saying to me, you shall live and not die, but you shall live and glorify me and be a glory for me. I feel if he wants me to be bold, here I am. I try to obey him to the best of my ability, but I know that his grace is sufficient. I couldn't do this on my own. I just want everybody to know how wonderful he is. He has taken me and he is just leading me step by step by step, even when I didn't even know I needed it. That's the beauty of it. When you don't even know you need it, he sets the platform, he sets the foundation so that when you need it the most, it's right there.
We're in the process of radiation therapy as a precaution. Bless the Lord. Got all the cancer. It's out, gone, that's it. But as a precaution, they're doing radiation, which is something they do today. We were going closer to home for the therapy and found out that's not a good thing to do when we researched it. So we're going back out to the Asheville area, to the Mission Cancer Center.
That's why it was so crucial that we had met Jim, because he got us the doctors where we needed it.
It's sort of like God giving you your own personal guardian angel, but you don't see it because it's in the human realm. But what he's doing is spiritual. He uses everybody and anybody. We're following the steps that were set before us. We're not doing it. This is something by faith.
When we were coming back from Florida, and here's another question I want to impose to you, because we did this coming back from Florida. We're learning too, we're not there yet. Do we complain and get depressed and maybe even blame God for not answering a prayer? We had prayed before we went to this symposium. We weren't sure if we should have gone, and we did all of this. And we came back and we said, well, that was useless. Trusting God, no matter how you feel, he's there. He makes it turn out. Little did we know how much he was in control.
Yes, and the other insanity is, of course, here we are in the midst of battling a catastrophic disease, all right? We go every day to the doctors, and everything pretty much has had to stop as we know it, and we're in the middle of our fundraising for this program, and like two idiots, right, you would say, in the normal realm, we sign a new contract for another 6 months. I don't even have enough of what I'm doing here. But this is faith. If we're going to believe in Jesus, we're going to believe. We're going to have that faith because he gave us this program. I know it without a doubt. I don't need to be on the radio. I keep telling people we don't need this. But we feel like we're helping somebody out there. We don't know where you are, who you are, but with all of what we've been living through, I am sure you have to understand that it can happen to you too, because we're not special. We're not. We're just two people. We have a grassroots organization, a mom and pop, but we're doing what we can do through Jesus Christ, through that faith.
The only reason why I'm here is to tell you that no matter what you are going through, it could be anything. I'm not anything special because of breast cancer. In fact, there are so many who are going through it even worse. But it could be an economic problem. It could be a marriage problem. It could be whatever the problem is. The point is that Jesus works the same. And if you give him a chance and you trust him totally and completely, that's why I'm here to tell you this. He loves you. He cares about you. And even though it may not look like anything is working right now, he is laying a foundation for you if you will allow him to do so. And when you need it, the moment you need it, it'll be ready for you. He is working for you even though you don't see it. So if, like I say, if you're feeling like you want to complain that your prayer's not being answered, or feel like, everything is going wrong, all things do work together for good for those who love the Lord. Romans 8:28, we are assured and know that God, being a partner in our labor, all things work together and are fitting into a plan for good to and for those who love God and are called according to his design and purpose. That is something we can actually rely on without a shadow of a doubt. Just like the centurion, he knew that God did not have to go to his home. All he had to do is just will that his servant boy would live. And that kind of faith is what we have to work towards, because that faith will give us the peace and the joy while we're waiting and not worry about what is going on around us.
The centurion, as far as I know, he wasn't a Christian. He knew Jesus by his works and his deeds, and he believed. I think Jesus was taken aback by what he said. He marveled at the fact that he had so much faith in him. And that's what we're saying, to have that faith that when you ask, it's going to be done by him, but in his time.
The main thing is to take the time to get to know the Lord who loves us so much. I made a CD about my situation. And as I say, this could apply to anything you're going through. We are willing to just send it to you without any cost. And my husband will tell you our address. We would be happy if you would drop us a note or an email or whatever. We would be more than happy to send that to you. That's why I'm sitting here. God wants me to tell you he loves you, not to give up, to trust him at all cost. He is trustworthy, and he is a God that can be trusted.
Without a doubt. And if you want, you could email us at livingwithvictory@gmail.com, or you can call us at 828-926-4600. We'll send you the CD, no problem. Just give us a call or email us. We'll be more than happy. And if you feel we are helping you in any way and would like to help this ministry to continue, hey, just listen to our announcer. At the end, he's going to give you the address where to mail to and other information, and any amount will be fine. Whatever you can do, we will appreciate. That's quite all right. And he'll give you the contact information. Tim Hodges is our announcer who will do the exit at the end of the show and have all that information. And like I said, if you want the CD, just livingwithvictory@gmail.com. And it's been a real pleasure today. And remember, till next week, this is Tony
and Laureen
saying you keep dancing in the rain because Jesus is your umbrella. See you soon.
You've been listening to Living with Victory with your host, motivational and inspirational speaker, Tony Giorgio. Support for Living with Victory comes from Friends of Compassion and listeners like you. Your tax-deductible donations can be sent to Compassion for Kids, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. Tony is also available to speak to your group or organization. You can call him at 828-926-4600. Join us again next week at this time for another uplifting story of dancing in the rain.
Jesus is with me when the storm clouds gather. He's standing by my side.